Welcome to today's Explainer. I'm going to be your mentor for what is essentially a masterclass in career acceleration. We're looking at a fascinating source today that lays out the literal blueprints for modern wealth by identifying 7 specific skills. But, here's the catch. These are the exact skills that traditional education systems have either completely ignored or quietly removed from the classroom. Okay, let's dive into this, because what we're going to uncover is absolutely going to shift how you view your earning potential.
Why did traditional schools hide the skills that pay $150,000 a year? It's a pretty jarring question, right? I mean, right now, millions of people are walking out of traditional schooling, struggling with just massive debt, fighting tooth and nail for low-paying entry-level jobs. But parallel to that, there's this totally different economy. There are people out there quietly earning $150,000, $250,000, or even upwards of $500,000 a year. And spoiler alert, they aren't doing it by being better at standard test taking. Nope, they're doing it by mastering a really specific set of high-income skills that, well, simply aren't on the standard syllabus.
So, here's our syllabus for today's workshop. First, the hidden high-income curriculum. Second, mastering high-value communication. Third, building the wealth engine. Fourth, the ultimate multiplier, which is AI. And finally, your immediate next steps. Now, keep a really close eye on that 4th module. That one is literally the biggest wealth-building opportunity of 2026, and we're going to break it wide open later on.
Module 1, the hidden high-income curriculum, moving past the memorization trap.
Think of this explainer as your personal blueprint to fundamentally unlearn the limitations placed on you by the traditional classroom. And this brilliantly illustrates the core problem right here. Traditional education prioritizes rote memorization over the actual application of modern, high-income skills. The source text makes it crystal clear. Schools are designed to create predictable employees who just follow instructions, right? Not dynamic problem solvers who generate immense value. If you actually want to break out of those average earning brackets, you have to break out of the memorization mindset first.
Let's ground this in some hard numbers. Check out the benchmark paths and the realistic income potentials associated with them once you step outside that traditional classroom. So communication skills, like sales and negotiation, map to a $150,000 plus potential. Moving into wealth mechanics through entrepreneurship, that pushes the benchmark up to $250,000 plus. And that ultimate multiplier we teased earlier, AI and automation, unlock potential north of $500,000 a year. Keep these specific financial targets in the back of your mind as we break down exactly how to get there.
Section 2. Mastering high-value communication, the foundation of $150,000 plus income. All right, we're moving from theory into the actual mechanics of how we connect, persuade, and ultimately get paid. The source material identifies the first 4 of our 7 hidden skills right off the bat: sales and persuasion, copywriting, negotiation, and public speaking. Look, these are the engines of commerce, so why aren't they emphasized in school? Well, because they rely on human psychology and dynamic adaptation, not standard rubrics. But here's the secret. Mastering just one of these 4 skills to a high level can easily push your income past that $150,000 mark. You literally don't need all 4 immediately, you just need to be exceptional at one.
Now, as your mentor today, I'm definitely not going to just give you theory. We are all about action. So here are your immediate first steps to start mastering these communication skills right now. Step 1, identify a product or service you already use and genuinely love. Step 2, practice writing just one persuasive email about it every single day. Seriously, that's how you learn copywriting. Step 3, role-play negotiating a 10% raise or, hey, even just asking for a 10% discount the next time you buy a coffee. You've got to build that muscle of asking.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the modern landscape has fundamentally shifted these skills. Look at the left. The traditional way involves spending 10 grueling hours drafting a sales pitch or speech totally from scratch. But on the right, the AI-assisted way is just prompting a large language model for 5 minutes and then using your human judgment to edit and refine the output. It's a game changer. Artificial intelligence is already accelerating how we learn and apply these communication paths. But remember that curiosity loop we opened earlier? Yeah, as powerful as this is, the true standalone power of AI as its own wealth multiplier is still to come.
Section 3. Building the wealth engine, protecting and growing your high income.
So, once you actually start securing that high income through exceptional communication, what happens next? Well, we move into rapidly growing what you've earned. And this brings us to hidden skill number 5, entrepreneurship. Let's define it clearly. It's the creation or extraction of value to build independent wealth, completely separate from an hourly wage. The crucial point here is understanding why this isn't taught. Corporate boardrooms and traditional schooling systems, they prefer predictable employees. They want cogs in the machine. Entrepreneurship teaches you how to own the machine yourself. And when you make that transition from simply communicating high value for someone else to owning the entrepreneurial venture yourself, well, $250,000. That is your new benchmark. That's the realistic leap in income potential when you detach your time from your earnings and start scaling value creation.
But listen, a high income means absolutely nothing if you can't keep it. Enter skill number 6, financial literacy and investing. The source heavily highlights the critical need to understand modern investment strategies. It's all about prioritizing financial literacy, focusing on compound growth, and ruthlessly avoiding consumer debt. Traditional schools might teach you how to balance a checkbook if you're lucky, but they sure don't teach you how to analyze market trends, utilize tax-advantaged accounts, or deploy capital so that your money works way harder than you do.
So what are the practical steps for a total beginner to start building this wealth engine today? First, open a modern, low-fee brokerage account. You can literally do this on your phone in 10 minutes. Step 2, purchase your first broad market index fund. Guys, this isn't about stock picking or gambling. It's about getting skin in the game and letting the historic compound growth of the broader market go to work for your future.
Module 4, the ultimate multiplier, AI, the biggest wealth building opportunity of 2026.
All right, we have arrived. It is time to pay off that curiosity loop. Here it is, skill number 7, artificial intelligence and automation. Mastering AI is no longer just some niche tech hobby. It is the ultimate cheat code for the modern economy. By learning how to automate repetitive tasks, scale your decision-making, and leverage machine learning to do the work of 10 people, your earning potential absolutely shatters the ceiling, pushing right toward that $500,000 plus benchmark. Let's move to and see how this builds. Look at the massive wealth gap we're dealing with here. Bar 1 represents the ceiling for traditional memorization jobs. Safe, sure, but totally stagnant. Bar 2 is what happens when you apply high-income communication and entrepreneurship, a massive jump to $150K and beyond. But bars 3, that is the AI and automation multiplier. When you combine high-income skills with the immense leverage of AI, your output becomes exponential, and your income potential follows right along with it.
Section 5, your immediate next steps, taking action today. Because as your mentor, I have to tell you straight up, consuming this information without actually applying it is exactly the same as the traditional schooling trap we are trying to escape. So here is your ultimate practical guide to taking action today. Step 1, review the 7 skills we just discussed. Step 2, choose just one skill to focus on. Seriously, do not try to boil the ocean. Pick the one that excites you the most. Step 3, dedicate just 30 minutes today to learning it. Read an article, prompt an AI to teach you the basics, or practice writing that email. Your momentum starts today. I want to leave you with this final thought. Which of these 7 hidden skills surprised you the most? Was it the sheer earning potential of copywriting? Or maybe the undeniable leverage of AI automation? Whatever it is, use that surprise to fuel your momentum. Start future-proofing your career strategies today. Step outside that traditional classroom and build the wealth you are actually capable of. Thank you so much for joining me in this Masterclass Explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.